This year we're going to be doing a tomato trial here at Wisley, and so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how we sow them and grow them down here on the nursery. Okay, so things that you're going to need to sow your tomato seed. Obviously, number one, purchasing your tomatoes. So either your cherry, your garden tom, or in this case, beefsteak. But whatever you choose, the technique will be exactly the same. So containers to sow into, we here on the nursery will use either a 9 centimetre pot or a shallow pot, something like this, but it does depend on how many you want to grow for your garden and your friends possibly. So if we want up to maybe 10 plants of one, we would actually use this size, but if you're looking for more than that, you could use this size. We recycle all our pots down here, so we wash them and use them again and again, so we're not buying lots of plastic. If you don't want to use those at all, you can use a decomposable pot like this one here, and this will work just as well, and you don't have any plastic at all. The next thing we'll look at is compost. Now we use a commercially available peat-free mix, but any seed compost that you can get from your garden centre, as long as it's free draining, like this is here, and it's nice and fluffy as well. So the next stage is I'm going to prepare the pots. And I'm going to fill up with the compost, so overfill, tap down, then we're going to score off some of the excess compost using our presser board, and then we're going to gently press down to about a depth of about 1 centimetre, just giving it a little chiggle so that we've got a pot like that. And now we've prepared the pot, we're going to water it. So we are going to water before we sow, so that when we do sow the seed, we're not going to be disturbing it afterwards. And I'm going to use our watering can here. You can water from below if you wish, but we water from above simply because we find it to be a lot quicker. And always make sure that when you're using a watering can, you use a rose and it is upturned so that you get a finer finish on the watering and it doesn't disturb the top of your pot. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to write the label. It's always good practice to write on the label the name of what you're sowing and also the date of which you've sown it, so that you can start to learn and remember how long things take to germinate. And then get the seed out of the packet, and I place it onto the palm of my hand, like so. And then we're going to sow them evenly across the top of the pot. So now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to sieve a fine layer of compost over the top of the seeds, and this allows the seeds to germinate easily. So now you've finished the seed sowing, you can place this either on a warm windowsill or in a propagator. You shouldn't need to water them again until they germinate. Germination should take between 7 to 10 days, and once that's happened, you can start thinking about pricking out. So what you're looking for is that the seedling has produced a set of leaves and it's of a good size to handle, so you can then move it on into its next container. So we are just using a general multi-purpose peat-free compost, filling the pots and levelling them off at the top. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hold on to the seedling using the leaf. You never hold it on the stem because you can bruise the seedling. And then we are going to go underneath the seedling with our dibber and gently lift the seedling out of the pot. And then you're going to make a hole in your container in the compost. You're going to place the seedling in, gently put it into position, and then backfill the compost like so. The reason why we do this is so that each individual seedling will have plenty of room to grow on and produce a nice sturdy plant. So once you've done that, you water them in well, and then you place them either on the windowsill again for a little while or in a frost-free greenhouse, and you will grow them on until you see the first flower trusses, and then you can move them on into their final growing container where you will be cropping them for the summer. I hope you have a successful tomato growing season.